All right to YouTube, another one of Kips Clips, and welcome to a very special Kips Clips. Today is the day that I declare myself independent. I've held my own election, and now I have my very own declaration of independence, and it's real. Look, I wrote it on a bit of paper and everything, real ink, a real paper, so it's got to be real. All I need is a funny wig, a funny hat, some sealing wax and stuff, and it's almost identical to the Declaration of Independence. So I don't know how long, how short, how sweet this one is going to be. First priority, what I'm going to do is anybody that oops, that's not it, sorry. Anybody that is watching live, which it's telling me right now nobody's watching live, so happy days. Anybody that is watching live, let me see, is it actually broadcasting? How long, how short? It is broadcasting. Anybody that is actually watching live, remember, stick a wee thumbs up if you appreciate the message behind this, and hopefully get people out of this mindset that they're powerless, and to let them hopefully escape the magic tricks. Because I'm going to hopefully try and show you that this is that we are all staying in their magic tricks, and we need to escape it. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to stick the Hangout link below. If anybody wants to get involved, please feel free. The link is below. People that are in the chat from the get-go, quick shout out. Rebecca Bradley, how you doing, Rebecca? I appreciate all the information, links and whatnot that you put up, and all the pages and stuff. It is well appreciated, man. So thanks a lot. Joseph Gordon, how you doing? You go out and do your shopping, mate. You catch up with us later on. That's not a problem. If you've seen what I'm seeing, why isn't that broadcasting in half decent quality? Hopefully that will rectify it. So Truth Seeker, how you doing, mate? Cookies in as well. Rebecca Bradley. Rebecca was just saying hi there. There's Blazing Stars. Joseph Gordon, how you doing, mate? Going out to do the shopping. Truth Seeker going to tie up his tomatoes. Oh, mate, you know what? I would love to grow my own tomatoes. Tomatoes has got to be my favourite fruit or veg. How you doing, Cookie? Links below, mate, if you fancy joining. I have a question, Kip, before they do. Maybe not, but if they do, where do they see my manipulations to their own? Bright, links below, mate. I would love you to join us, man. And fuck, I'm sorry, mate. I didn't miss. Sorted them back. Did you get the shopping done? Oh, you get your tomatoes done, mate. Nice one. Rogue Penguin, we do live, exactly, mate. So hi, and there's the fat, ugly, liquid, blunt bitch. How you doing, mate? Him or her, I don't know, but anyway. Thumb up in the fucking air. Hi. Hey, there we go. Hold on. I remember a shit. Was it? Remember a thumbs up. Right. So on with the Declaration of Independence. Right. So here's my well. First and foremost, let me start off with, during the last general election, I didn't fall for the scams. I didn't participate. I didn't give them my consent. I withdrew my consent and started. I done my own election. Now the box is filled up with crap again, but this, right? As you can see, I'm obviously clearly into recycling. Originally a shoebox, nanny state shoebox. Then it was my ballot box. Now it's my filing cabinet. But this is where it all began. I held my own election, withdrawing my consent from those West monsters and those monsters over in Holyrood as well. None of them have my consent. I didn't participate in their magic show. I held my own election, my real election, withdrawing my consent. So, you don't vote, you don't have a say. I voted. I have a fucking say. I have a say my fucking way. Now, presidents have been set in times gone by. The best one that's more clear in people's memory is the Declaration of Independence of the America of the United States. Now, what was that? It was a bunch of people sitting together, writing down on a bit of paper, saying that they're independent and they don't. I've had enough, and I ain't taking no more. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically it. Now, I've said I've had enough, and I ain't taking no more for a long time now, and now it's real. Because Shazam! It's on a bit of paper. Now, what this says. Hold on, actually, I am truly independent in body, mind, and soul of all governments and perceived authority institutions. I am a free, sovereign human. Signed, Craig Houston, founding father of the Republic of Hustonia. Now, I'm not a greedy man. My republic is my flat, for a starters, right? Now, what I just done there, what I'm hoping to do is get everybody together, and everybody, like, I know everybody, oh, scared, let's hide in the dark, let's run away, don't show your face, don't show your handprint. I'm not fucking CIA, MI6 trying to gather data or collection shit or IP address shit or fucking even looking for an email address or anything. What I'm hoping to do is get a collection of people. You can wear a mask, you can turn the camera off. Preferably, some people have the balls as a human being to stand up and go, count me in. This is my face, this is who I am, and this is how I fucking feel. I am independent of all fucking governments and perceived authority institutions. Fuck yous all. Now stand up in front of a camera. You're out there in the ether. You were all in the Matrix. You can't hide from it, right? So let's fucking embrace it, man. Let's fucking put our face out there and say, I am independent in body, mind, and soul of all governments and perceived authorities. Now, I want you to write your own. Don't copy mine. Do your own. Write your own. Put your own wee slant on it. Your own wee twist. Your own creativity. Put it on your magic. Write a magic spell. Make it real. Shazam! Right, let's participate in our magic mumbo-jumbo bullshit. You write it down on a bit of paper, wear a funny wig, get enough people to say it's real, and it's real. It's real! Right, so let's participate in our own Declaration of Independence. Now, I'm not wanting everybody to join Hustonia. That's my own republic. That's for me. Everybody declare their own independence. Away from the governments. Don't participate in their mumbo-jumbo bullshit elections. Don't participate in any of their stuff. Withdraw yourself as much as you possibly can. We all need to eat. We all need a roof over our head. We all fucking got to survive. You know what I mean? Like, do bear in mind that the first and most obvious human instinct is survival, right? Now, once you're I've been through the ringer. I know that I will survive, man. So I no longer live in that fear. The system no longer has that fear over me. That's why I've got nothing to, I've got fuck all to lose. So they've not got that over me either. So that's how I've got the balls to do this. And write your own one. Be 30 seconds, 15, 10 seconds, whatever. And just in front of a camera, say whatever you want. Just declare your independence away from the decisions that these elite people are making on our behalf. And what I'll do is I'll stick it in my Sony Vegas, and hopefully, I don't know, I probably won't even get one person participating. I've tried this before and not one person participated. But if I get one person participating, brilliant. If I get 5, amazing. If I get 10, better, and so on and so on and so forth. And then I can put a big collage of all these people declaring independence together. And the more and more it grows, the more and more, say we get 100, say we get 1,000, say we get 100,000, say we get 100 million. You get 100 million people standing up there and saying, we're not in my name, no war in my name. These people are making decisions that have nothing to do with me. They're bringing hatred my way because they're saying that they represent me, and they don't. The people in charge of these countries all over the world don't represent the people of their countries. They represent the corporate fascist takeover that's happened in this world. So kick them out, forget about them. We don't need to fight, we don't need to protest, we don't even need guns, bombs or bullets. We just need to stand up here and write in a bit of paper, fuck off. Now, granted, right, it ain't that easy. I understand how tyrannical these systems are, and they will start clubbing you over the head and stuff, but then the mask is off. Then it's a fair playing field. Then they no longer have the disguise to hide behind that they're all fair and just and want goodness and fruits for the world and stuff. They need to take off the mask, where all they want is for the few to control the many. Full stop. Now, once that mask has came off and people understand, once the many understand that the few want to control us, then game on. Game on. Then it's a fair playing field, because us, the many, regardless of if we've got the guns, bombs or bullets, know that the elite, the few, are just want to control us as their tax, revenue, resources, bitches, slaves. So once that's over, then that's when the tide turns. So and again, I've held my own election. So you can't stand up here and say, well, you need to vote, you need to change it from... I've changed it from inside. I voted, I'm out. I am out. And I've also got my Declaration of Independence. Now, what I'm also going to do, let me see if I can batter back into the chat. I'm just hoping this is actually broadcasting, because my computer seems to be going haywire. Aye, well, looks like you can see that. Computer's not playing ball. There you go. Right there. Oh, something appears to be getting broadcast anyway, so thank God we're back in the room. Right, so here is my... Oh shit, what the fuck's that thing? How did I get rid of that? Don't know what happened there, and I don't know how I put... Oh, there, right. This is a Word document, and if you want a copy of this, I think this will work. I'm going to put a link to this in the description. Oh shit, hold on, that's the wrong one. What am I doing? Oh, I want to put a link to this in the description. That's what I want to do. Stop sharing there and everything. Happy days. Right, so I've put a link to that document. I am truly independent in body, mind and soul of all governments and perceived authority institutions. I am a free sovereign human being, signed. And you can obviously change whatever bits you want. I mean, short and sweet. Why overcomplicate it? I want out. These people don't represent me. I'm yet to see a politician that I feel that I could even like hold a conversation with for 30 seconds without wanting to ring the bullshit meter. I mean, they're all just lying scumbags. I'm sorry, but they really are. And I want out. None of them represent me. I can't put my faith in a system that time and time again is just... time and time again just sucks people in, spits them out, and it really is just revenue generation, and it is a slavery. We need to be aware of the absolute slavery that we're under right now. Right, so I'll have a wee shifty in the chat and see what folk are saying. And again, I want everybody to get involved. Do a wee blurb. Contact me, man. I'll give you an email address. Stick it up on your YouTubes. Let me download it and I'll stick it together all in one big collage. And if I think about it, man, if you get enough people declaring their independence from these governments that don't represent us, we need to withdraw our consent. We need to get the governments worried that the veil is slipping and they can no longer hide behind this veil of we govern and police by consent. They use apathy mixed in with the brainwashing of the mainstream media to keep people in a bubble, an acceptance bubble of the way things are. I've came out of that bubble and I can no longer accept things the way they are. I'm done with that, man. I can no longer blindly go along and accept this system. It isn't right, it isn't just, it isn't true, and it isn't set up for me and you. I'm a poet and I don't know it. Right, so we'll see what's everybody. Or maybe some forests you can sell. Right, this is a dilemma. They are varying degree of independence. How you doing, for? Nice to see you in, man. Hairy Cookie Monster. Sean Donslant. Don't want to be hunting haggis in the woods naked alone. Well, exactly, mate. I don't want to go back to the dark ages. I don't want to regress. I'm not a conservative or a Republican. I don't want to go, yes, the good old days, you know, we need to go back to the Magna Carta. Yeah, it was good when everything was done by candlelight. Yeah. I'm a fucking urban bunny as well, mate. I would die in 2 weeks out in the fucking forest, man. I don't want to regress. Right, so like what we've got, the good that we have around us, there's no need to crumble that down. We don't need to start fucking knocking down houses and shit like that. We just need to ignore the system as it is, make it irrelevant to us. I mean, we're all aware that nobody watches the mainstream media anymore, and the people that do watch it vastly watch it to mock it. The viewing figures are down, so on and so forth, but they still stand up there and present themselves as if they're this all-seeing eye, this all-seeing authoritarian figure. It's a show, so let's fucking take the Emperor's clothes off, fucking take the curtain behind the Wizard of Oz, man. Let's allow people to see what's actually going on, man.
Excuse me, Mr. President.
Oh yes, you may address me. Hold on. Hear you. We have somebody now in the Republic of Estonia. How you doing, Cookie?
Not bad. I might get stomped on by the cat. That was partly why I didn't jump in at first, because usually I'm feeding the cat and doing stuff around this time of day, so she might jump in. But I wanted to join in to ask you, you touched on it a little bit then. It's like, just for some clarifications, because I think I get where you're coming from, saying about the independence thing, and I know about you doing the vote and everything. But I think, as a lot of people are pointing out in the chat, some clarification maybe on what you mean by independence, and the fact that, like you've just said, there's stuff out there that is useful to us. We don't just want to implode the whole thing and go back to living in the woods. So what exactly do you mean by independence? I know I'm being my usual sort of pedantic wordplay thing.
It's brilliant because this allows me to explain it, right? The true independence I want, right, and the only one that I would say, that the only thing that I would want to, that would be on my manifesto, would be independence of thought. Right, so independence of thought means that you're independently able to think what independence you want, right? So that means that there would be cohabitating groups that would be allowed to fucking believe in whatever they want. I'm not, again, I don't even subscribe to it. I can't call myself an anarchist because, again, you can get books that tell you how to be an anarchist. So I want you can, mate. You get
yeah, I know.
It's crazy. The rule book and how not to follow rule books. This is what I'm trying to get away from. So, me, myself, I've declared myself independent. It's very, and again, it's here. Independent in body, mind, and soul. Right? I'm independent in body, mind, and soul of all governments and perceived authority figures, which means I govern myself. I'm independent.
Means you're an anarchist, mate.
Well, again, mate, because it says in a book that anarchists subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to anything that's written down in a book.
Yeah, I agree with you totally, mate. This is something that I know we've spoken about before in the past, but trying to get across to people is like the principle of anarchism is total independent sovereignty, sovereign to your own thought, being your own creator, your own author, and all that kind of stuff. The books you get on anarchism are mainly talking about bringing in the ideas of those different political ideologies and separating them into little boxes. So this is anarchism, this is democracy, this is social. Yeah, I know it does. And that's what I try to get across to people. And anarchy without overarching, without anything else above you. That's simply what it means. And there's nothing to stop an anarchist using other modalities in their own life. So if an anarchist chooses to, they can live within and take part within a democratic system if they choose to. And at the point that they choose to withdraw their participation, they're going back to being an anarchist unto themselves. Hello, Kat. I knew you'd be here. So you see what I mean? So in that respect, for me, it's like, if you say you're an anarchist, that's great, mate. And then whatever tools you pick up from that point are your choice as an anarchist, because you're an anarchist. Well, you're picking these things out to use for yourself.
I definitely don't call myself an anarchist. Again, I just don't like any. I don't like any label, man. As soon as I get a label on me, I want it off me. But again, I've not I don't know if that's what people in the chat were saying. I've not came into this thinking very shallowly. I'm saying why overcomplicate a very simple issue, right? This is what I'm saying, because you'll get people to, I agree with you. The government's full of scumbags. Right, great, brilliant, and then boom, they dilute it into all these different groups. So let's just agree that what the system right now, it isn't serving us. The system, fact, isn't serving us. It's not serving the few. It's serving the few. It's not serving the many. Right, everybody can agree with that. So let's all become underneath a barrier of, let's declare independence away from the system, our own independence, our own independent train of thought, independence to hold our own elections, to come up with new systems without having to go to university and get political training and how to tell you what pre-prescribed fucking pigeonholes are already waiting for us to debate over. Let's start afresh, anew, think again, scrap the old, in with the new. And you might go, well, what would you put in place? I've got my ruby red slipper fucking moment all fucking sorted out in my head, but I'm also fucking understand that nobody's going to get the ruby red slipper moment, so we have to fucking be pragmatic and try and be a bit practical and steps and stuff. So with this, what I'm trying to accomplish is to get people over the magic trick. This declaration of independence is real, genuine, honest, as the Declaration of Independence that Americans preach about all the time. That's what I'm trying to get through. There's nothing that they done back then that we can't do now, and vice versa. So we need to get out of this illusion that we're disempowered, the system has us, doom and gloom, the end of the world's happening tomorrow, fucking God's coming back, repent for your sins. We need to get away from that mumble-jumble magic bullshit and realise that if we fucking make a concerted effort, stuck our heads together, thought outside the box instead of all these pre-prescribed definitions of how to protest, what to protest about, what alternative systems are there. If you don't like capitalism, try out socialism. Why don't you try out my fucking schism? You know what I mean? Nobody's thinking new. We're capable. That's what they're trying to stop. They're trying to stop original thought, original actions outside the box. They don't want something new because everything else has got a tried and tested fucking methodology that they know how to deal with. So that's what I'm trying to get across here, Cookie. Like, fucking something new. I'm not here to tell anybody what fucking system to have. I'm here to fucking try to get everybody together to go, enough is enough with that old system. We can't rectify it, we can't change it, and figuratively burn those institutions down to the ground and start afresh, man. Everything, absolutely everything. And I'm up for the debate of what's going to be there afterwards, but I'm certainly not a dictator or going to dictate to people what to think or what's best for them, because fingers crossed, if shit fucking goes the way that the universe, a good universe would work, you would have different systems, you'd have different flavours from all around the world, man, and hopefully we'd get on better.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate, totally. I think I do feel that I have to add that this is just for clarification reasons. I'm not trying to box or dilute what you're saying, but I do think really what you're talking about is what could be defined as political independence. Even though I agree with you, the whole game of the political theatre is just that, it's a theatre. Yeah, it's not really taking any credence to your input or your desires or your displeasure at what it's doing. A good example is it the DPAC group currently, you know, the Disabled People's Action Group or something. I think the acronym, they're outside Parliament today protesting. But do you think it's, I know some people will say I'm being cynical, but from past experience and evidence, do you think their protest is really going to stop what the current government wants to do with their austerity plans? It's not. And yet there's people there appealing to the current government. You know, they're protesting, they're asking of the government to do something that they want. And the government is just giving us the finger. Well, so you need to independently make yourself independent of that system. I think what you're talking about is not people going off to live in the woods or starting their own community right from scratch. They might do, but I feel this is important to get across to the people out there watching, whoever listens to this, that for myself anyway, I'm not trying to say to you that you should like run away from the system and go or run to the hills and build your own new community or whatever. You know, if you feel you can do that, great. But everything is relative to each person's situation in their lives. You know, saying independent to somebody can give them the impression that you mean things like, well, where are you getting your electricity from, mate? You know, you're getting that from some kind of infrastructure that's part of the system. So if you're telling me to be independent, that means I've got to turn all my electricity off and generate my own electricity, yeah? Do you see what I mean? So that's why I'm saying politically independent, just to be a bit sort of clarified about it.
I said, man, I could not go and stay back in the dark ages, and I'm no fucking want to switch off.
I don't think we need to. It's a misdirection put out there as reverse psychology by the establishment, because they're giving people this preconceived box of thinking that, oh, well, if you don't like what we're doing, your only choice is to go and live in a cave and wipe your ass with duck leaves. You really want to do it? Do you see what I mean? That's what they sow out there into the public consciousness, whereas that's provably not true. There's plenty of communities out there that have gone out to somewhere and literally started from scratch, and they have a good standard of living. They're not living in a fucking cave. Sorry, mid-afternoon, but whatever. Yeah, so that's a misnomer, but yeah, that's the kind of impression that's put out there. I think that's totally unfair when we're living with technology that can so enable us to live independently in little modular units that don't have to be part of a big suckling pig system that feeds you like a bunch of piglets strung along a line, yeah?
Well, Cookie, I disagree. As you know, man, me and the boys went to the anti-austerity protest in Glasgow at the weekend, and we changed the world, mate.
Did you?
Obviously means a bit like that was the running joke of that day. It was like, for the rest of the day we were like, we changed the world today, guys. Can't you see, kind of thing. But I mean, it's like it's not about fucking like going back to the dark ages. It's about ignoring the old system, creating new systems, and hopefully taking back what's rightfully ours, which is the resources of this planet for all of us to use equally for our own, for all our benefits, not for a few to sip on top and scrape off of. And yeah, it's a very complicated, because a lot of people can go, yes, I want to be independence, and then shit themselves when they think what's going to be there afterwards. But that's the fucking, that's the fun and games of it. You go and decide what you want after there, man. You go and make up your own mind. Don't let my burp tell you. Don't let Alex Jones tell you. Don't let anybody tell you what's there, what you want. Think about what's best for you. Oh, here, I would like a system like this because it would serve my family in this way. And then, once we all fucking manage to tear this shitty old system down, then we can get together, rub our fucking ideas together, and hopefully we can't come up with anything worse. Put it that way. If there's any fucking heart and brain, any soul put into some sort of a new system, it can't be any worse. This system has been put in place for thousands of, right, let's conservatively estimate, right, 2,500 years we've still lived under this pyramidic fucking system, and they've used the exact same techniques for that 2,500 years. The explosion of the planet to be able to communicate with each other it's made it easier for them to bamboozle us, but it's made it easier for a few people who desire real independent thought to get there. And it's like all these, even my arsehole tightening want to touch on this subject. It's even with all these hoax things and all that as well. Now, we've touched on it in the past, everything's a hoax, everything's a hoax. It's like this flat earth thing, it's watering down the true message of a lot of good meaning people, which is enough is enough, let's start afresh. And then they go, well, you think this is a hoax actor fucking here, and it's really watering down the message, man. Shit, there's Gary joined us. How you doing, Gary, mate?
Alright, mate. Yeah, I was just saying, you've got the fucking hangout. You've got the old co-ops in Manchester, the cooperatives. The workers in the mills, they used to get together, put their money together, and they made a co-op to go out and buy their food. You know, when you talk about anarchy, you're talking about people organising the things they need, like their food and their clothes, and every necessity in life becoming a group of organised people to do that thing. One to deal with the water, you know, and that's where all your water companies and that's where they all built up from. But people have just lost touch. They're not in touch with these groups anymore. But yeah,
centralisation and decentralisation, it's polar opposites. Yeah, the system, as I often call it, the system, and whatever to point a finger at it as like a singular construct or concept, is a process of centralisation and maximising efficiency. That's it. It's as simple as that to describe it as like a tool or a mechanism. Yeah, it centralizes and it grinds to the maximum efficiency. That's it. It's not thinking. It's not empathic. It has no human emotions in that kind of way. Humans operate it, yeah, but the principle is based on that simple mechanism. What we're talking about is reversing that or pulling back from that black hole effect of that centralization to decentralize. Because if you're politically independent, and I'm being pedantic about using it, saying it in that way, you have that ability to get together with other people of like mind, build your own community, or work with people in your already existing community to set up those infrastructures that you need to provide for daily life. Yeah, that's proven in the past in loads of different communities, and the current state of the world of the various nations are just the current furthest level of development of that centralisation model.
Cookie and Gary, I need to ask you as well. Cookie, first, are you going to participate in this little project, Cookie? Are you going to write your own Declaration of Independence and put it in a wee blurb that I can put together in a montage?
I say yes, mate, but you know what I'm like. I think it might be difficult for me to word something that would be short enough for you to use.
35 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I can edit it down. Maybe I can do a Cookie edit or something. Just hello, my name's Cookie. I want to be independent. Keep it short.
The main thing to me, mate, is just to stress that yes, I agree with you on the independence aspect, but I really have to add on to that the context of relativity. It is relative to everybody's their own personal situation and their family and their community they live in. That's what I'm saying, mate. Like,
it's just, that's why I didn't overcomplicate it. People were asking me what I want. That isn't the question I'm asking here. What do you want? Yeah. It's getting people together in the singularity of independence, and then go, but what do you want? I don't want to run away to the hills. I want electricity. Great. That's what we need to discuss. Get together under the singularity of independence, and that's what I'm saying here. I'm not wanting to talk about the details. It's just the acceptance of that system isn't serving us. We can't fix it. It will never be fixed. We've tried, failed many a times. So let's forget that system. We don't need to go and start killing them or bombs or bullets. Just let's start the ball rolling in the process of setting up our new system. If enough, it's the same theory of my ballot box. If more people comes to my ballot box than the government sanctioned one, game's a bogey. So that's the same theory that I'm putting behind that. So Cookie, that's a yes. You're going to. What about you, Gary? Are you going to do a wee?
Well, I'm not sure I can. There's a declaration on the forum that says you take command of your own copyrighted name. So I'm not sure I can actually give you anything in writing, yeah, because you got to take command of your own copyrighted name.
Need anything in writing, mate? Are we you on camera?
But what I was saying is there are different declarations on the forum. They think it's a big thing that the government own your name. So you write a letter to the government basically saying my name is mine. You don't own it anymore. I've got the copyright.
That's getting caught up in their mumble jumble fucking bull. That's getting caught up in their magic. Like I understand and I hear where you're coming from, because again that's dipping into the legalese stuff and your ownership and your slave name and your birth certificate. I understand that, but this is what I'm saying. Fuck it. We all know it's a scam. They all know that it'll fucked us over. So what do you want to do? Do you want to fucking blindly accept that, or just go, this is real, that is fake? That's what I'm saying. People can put on masks. They can change their camera. They can use IP addresses from around the world. I'm not here to data collect. Just get a collective voice to go. We want something new. We want independence. We want away from this system, something new. And write your own.
One of the things Cookie didn't mention is the reason they bring it all together is so they can tax it more easily. And so, if people are going to start going off and trying to form their own food collectives, the government aren't going to get their tax from that. So you've got to try and get across to the government. Yeah, but if we're not going to be paying tax on our local food collective, we're not going to be asking for tax in benefits. I don't think the government will go for it. They don't want that anyway. But
again, mate, I feel stress the point of relativity, because if people want to, this is why in the past I've talked about the Underground Railroad, and I'm not using that phrase to literally take the original meaning of the escapee slaves and stuff like that. I'm talking about that kind of underground networking that everybody does in one way or another. I know somebody that could get you that on the cheap, or I know somebody that can come and fix your roof for you. You just pay them cash in hand, whatever. In the same manner, setting up those kind of community networks, people are going to have to consider their own situation in respect to, well, if I trade a bag full of veggies to that guy for something that he's got that I want or need, but don't tell the government, then in effect I am breaking some kind of tax code. So if they want to, they might be able to come along and do me in some manner, fine me or whatever. You've got to be aware of that kind of situation, because this system, and this is why I call it the slavery system, the slavery model, because we're all still slaves in one way or another, to varying degrees, but they do not want to let you go. They will not want to let you go, because the benefit for them is that cream off the top effect. Through that centralisation process, they can cream off for themselves so that they can live in the lap of idle luxury by creaming off the profit of your energetic production. Hello, Cat. Yeah, so yes, mate, it is, I feel strongly that you've got to get that across to people. If you don't consider how it might have such knock-on effects to your life, because this system will demand its pound of flesh. They've already been introducing various new legal statutes about things like if you produce your own electricity, you have to be tied into the grid. You know, you're not allowed to have your own independent water sources because the quality levels can't be monitored by such and such agencies and shit like that. Yeah, they're tying up the loose edges of the fencing. They do not want you to escape.
And as well, Cookie, it's like, oh shit, I've had a brain fart there. Oh, I thought I seen tumbleweed come across the screen there, man. I've had that absolute brain fart.
I've got cat in the face. I've got a face full of pussy.
What were you talking about there, Cookie? That just completely went out of my head.
Underground networking, basically. Underground railroad effect.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. There's no denying right now, within everything I'm talking about, there's an overwhelming human condition called survival, or the fucking survival instinct. So no matter how much we all fucking say we hate this system, we hate this, we hate that, within that hatred, you still have your prime goal as a living human being to survive, right? So you're going to do what's required to make sure. I mean, look at me. I'm no obese. I'm not going to fucking die of heart attacks because I'm eating too much, right? But people need that survival technique now. Within the confines of you being able to survive, then that's how you fight the system. Like, I believe, because you get all these morons that shut down people's arguments. You don't work, you don't vote, you don't pay taxes. Well, fuck yous all. Get it fucking round yous, man. There's been people like me on this planet before there was either taxes existed, governments and everything. What came first? Human beings or governments, right? Or the ability to survive. My ability, my fucking human condition that makes me want to fucking breathe, makes me want to be here tomorrow, has been here before governments were invented, fucking before maps were invented, before even somebody decided to draw a line on a map and say that's fucking mine. So I'm sorry, man. My natural instinct of survival usurps all your bullcrap of all the retarded arguments to try and shut down people that are really trying to change the world. The people that this system serves a lot of people. That's why you get a lot of people that don't want to change it, because they're fucking loving it. The people it doesn't serve are the ones that are downtrodden, and they're the ones that are speaking up, and you get kept downtrodden by the perception that you're just a horrible scumbag that's a drain on society. I would argue that I've worked and been a tax slave longer than I've done this YouTube thing, but I can sleep. I feel that I've fucking done more for myself and even others in the short period that I've done this YouTube shit than I ever did do conning old women out of their money to switch their gas and electricity supplies. Call me a bad human being for not wanting to fucking serve that system. I mean,
it's the direction you're going now, mate, not what you did in the past.
What's what, mate?
The problem is, people don't. Gone.
I was just saying, it's the direction you're going now. That's the primary importance, you know. It's no point dwelling on the past in that respect. You realised that what you were doing was unhelpful, unhealthy, you know, whatever you want to define it as, but it wasn't a good thing to be doing. You've moved on from doing that, and now you're trying to do something good. You know, I would call it good. You know, some people will get argumentative about such definitions, but whatever.
And Cookie, I wouldn't even change that for the world, because again, like, I wouldn't be able to sit up here and know how horrible it is to fucking have a gun against your head. Do you want to eat? Do you want a roof over your head? Go and con old women out their money. Yep. That's literally the gun the system had at my head. As a young man, you're thrown out there. You need to go out and earn money so you can put a roof over your head, feed yourself, hopefully get a woman and maybe make a family. Now that gun to my head, because the profession I slipped into was telesales, was right, okay, you have to go on this phone and con people out of their money. And here we're going to ship over mind melt experts from all over the world to come and train you guys how to mind melt. And it's horrible, and I'm so glad I got out of it, and I could never return. And again, like, doing this sort of a stuff has made me sleep. So we'll put it this way, man. I struggle to sleep at night when I've fucking done that work. See, now that I do my YouTube, man, outlet and stuff, man, I look forward to going to sleep, man. Sleep's a fucking pleasure to me nowadays, man. And that, to me, that says a lot, because I can I'm more comfortable with who I am now than what I used to have to be to survive. I've manoeuvred myself into a position where I know I can survive. I'm not living a life of luxury, but I know I can survive and not have to be horrible to people, if that makes sense.
Problem is, there's a coincidence here of the people that have understood what it is to survive, what the real value is in life, but they only understand that after they've dropped out the system and they're no longer in a position to do things. Like Cookie was saying, it would be great if everybody was trying to swap things of value, but the people of value, the people who have things of value, they put the wrong value on things because they're in work and they've got the money and the rest of it. But the people who can really value things that are important, like food and that, they're no longer making any money. Yeah, people need to realise this before they bottom out of the system. Yeah, I haven't put that very well, have I?
No, yeah, that was good.
You look at the way the current farming and agricultural industry is, it really is like that. I know sometimes people complain about farmers, be it the landowners and whatever, being part of the problem, but they are subjected to the situation where the massive mega corporations have squeezed them using that efficiency process to a point where those people that produce the food you need to survive are treated as like a low class worker. Yeah, they're given no real respect or in terms of how they're used by the system. They really are like getting ground down just as bad as everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the thing is, the value as well, people putting on things. I mean, they've made food so cheap. The people, I think a lot of people are unaware of, you know, the fact that it's a necessity until you fall out and you're having to go through bins and that. Yeah. It's just a different value that people put on things.
Well, Gary, see, you mentioned that, man. Like more recently, in my experience, man, I've had to interact with food banks and stuff, man, and it's gave me a different appreciation to having a few tins of beans in the cupboard and stuff, man. It really has, and it's I place a lot of different. I'm happy if I've got food, water, and electricity. That's it, man. If I've got food, water, and electricity, man, the day's a good tune. Everything over that, man, is just a Brucey bonus.
Right, and you see people going into Starbucks and they're spending 12 quid on a coffee and a cake. And you can get on your knees to them and say, look, understand, you know, what you're doing by paying £12 for a coffee that's worth, you know, a coffee that's worth £1 and a cake that's worth £1. You're paying 12 quid for it to Starbucks. Understand that you are the system you're supporting by placing a completely wrong value on something like that. Yeah. As well with all the consumer things, clothes and that. Oh, they've got these shops here, yeah? They take these little tables that are just beat to shit piece of old table, and somebody's blow-torched all the paint off them, sanded it down, and it's there for 30 quid because it looks artistic. I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous. Yeah, the extremes of poverty on the one hand, yeah, and because the people with money do. There's a huge gap in having money.
Well, you can't have the profit system the way it is, the consumer system the way it is, without artificial scarcity, and artificial scarcity has that knock-on effect of generating poverty. There has to be poverty so that there can be excess wealth. Yeah. So those people sat at the top of the pyramid would not be sat at the top of the pyramid if there were no poor people, if that makes sense. Yeah, I know I'm simplifying it.
I would say it's run the other way, Cookie, in the sense that...
it is, mate, symbiotic. They're only there because we keep fueling them.
No, but it's like poor people are a creation of the rich, not vice versa. I mean, like, poor people didn't go, hey, I know what we need. We need somebody that has everything. It's the fucking rich guy. It's the guy that's went here. I fast like a Frenchman here if I get the army. It's the guy that's thought ahead and managed to hoard things and hoard the food, hoard the water and stuff like that.
Exactly.
The underclass to serve him. So we need to be aware that there are these people and like. Without putting any of us down, we need to understand that these motherfuckers are smart individuals, right? So no matter how well we think we're understanding this whole game, they're probably a few steps ahead of us. They really are. Look at the truth movement, man. I heard somebody calling it a cult the other day, and I was like, that's fucking very spot on. So that's very spot on.
It's an old argument, mate, and it's a bait anyway, because if you agree with their argument, even if you disagree with it, if you engage with their argument, you're automatically defining a truth movement. And as I've tried to get across so many times, there is no club, there is no membership, there's no group that you have to join. So even engaging in such an argument, you are defining that there is a group that you have to join. Do you see what I mean?
Get them to define the word movement. Get them to define the word movement. That will stop them in their tracks. What is a movement?
No, but like what I would say though, it's like since people have had the ability to look at different information and come to their own conclusions, the government. The elite out there have had that's what I'm saying. They've been a step ahead of us. They've had their tentacles, like I would say they've controlled a lot of what we think is new and what is. They've controlled the information we are allowed to chat about. Earlier on, I was talking about. Was it yesterday or the day before? I'm sick of all this race baiting shit. Everybody's talking, is it a hoax? Is this a fucking actor? What about this? Up a bit, down a bit, left a bit, right? And the people who have either orchestrated it or is using that event, they're sitting back and going, brilliant, and getting on with putting their fucking agendas in place. So when, let's say for instance, when the Freedom Act is up in the Congress and stuff and going through legislation, they'll tell you to look at Ukraine. Oh, look at Ukraine! Don't look at fucking NSA stuff. And then the bill gets passed. And then as soon as the bill gets passed, they'll tell you, oh, look at Snowden again. Oh, and everybody's looking at Snowden and NSA. And over in Ukraine, they're killing people and fucking... It's mass distraction. And it's not that I don't think these things are important. It's not that I don't think the government fucking isn't capable of lying to us. It's that I'm trying to analyse why they're doing these things and what is their objective. And if everybody thinks along those lines instead of constant and put effort into that, we would maybe collectively manage to get a step ahead of them instead of just arguing about a bunch of bullshit. Oh, it's obvious a hoax here. I'm sorry, but I've seen a few of these videos now, and they're playing. And again, I'm trying to check my words here before I even say this. They're playing like let's say I believe the official story. So they've got a family of these dead people in front of the cameras, and then these 1,000,001 hordes of fucking YouTube ambulance chasing scumbags are. Now, imagine that was your fucking family. Would you want, I don't know, see if a member of my family was killed or something and then ended up in BBC and then you ended up with all these fucking YouTube morons fucking going over reels of fucking footage of your family. Oh, look, he scratched his arse there. He's obviously a fucking crisis actor. That's going to upset a lot of people. And people are focusing on all of that and not of what's the outcome. Why is this here? Why is it either getting so much attention, or why was it orchestrated? Why was it a hoax? And it's about staying on message and not getting and not letting the bombardment of bullshit fucking drag us down, and trying to stay true to the message, which is very simple.
I feel that you're stressing yourself out and contradicting your own recent arguments and statements. If you feel that it's not that relevant, then you get on with what you feel is relevant. And if the other people want to pick it apart like that. I agree with you that there is a lot of ambulance chasing, yeah? There's a lot of vulturism, voyeurism about looking at those kind of events, and to a large degree the system plays on that, and some of the bigger channels that monetize know this full well, so they use very sensationalist titling, clickbait titling, and they feature stories that they know will have that kind of voyeuristic lure to the public, yeah? So people come in just to like rubberneck of like, oh, look at the gory pictures, oh, look at the silly people, you know, like watching a freak show kind of thing. But I feel that there is still a need to objectively look at some of these stories so that you can find the details to point at it in one direction or another. Is it real? Is it staged? Is it a hoax? Is it done deliberately as a propaganda agenda in one direction or another? But similar to yourself, I don't obsess on the details. I look at something and then I look at how it plays into that agenda picture. I want to know, why are they putting this out there at this particular time? What are they distracting us from? What are they trying to make the public think about? What are they trying to create the narrative to be about? You know,
that's what I'm saying.
It's all that kind of process.
I didn't contradict myself. It was that's what I'm saying. Like you're agreeing with me and saying don't get bogged down with the details, whether it's real or fake. I've obviously got my own opinion, right?
Yeah,
I've got my own opinion, and it's and there's one very simple common sense thread that always rocks through my head with all these events, man. What is easiest, right? What is easiest? Why? Like I'm yet to meet a good argument. Why hoax it when they would happily do this? When they would happily do a real event. I mean, it's kind of like
we could easily digress into talking about what the definitions of false flag and hoax and stuff like that, yeah, man. And I'd just say, like, how is it relevant to your original point of wanting to talk about being independent and independence and stuff like that? I do feel that it is. People need to be aware of the fact that the system uses this medium. They've been in a knowledge sense in advance, one step ahead of us. If they knew we'd come to this medium, and they deliberately manipulate it and play it to ride the tiger and try and steer the public discourse, including us, even those of us out on the fringes of the herd. They're sowing seeds out here for us to chew on, yeah, like throwing bones to a dog, for example, or my ranting about the flat earth stuff recently. That's what they're doing, yeah? That does happen. Be aware of it. If you want to look at it, that's your choice relative to your choices as an independent sentience. If you want to look at it, go for it. But I'm following this track because I also am an independent sentience, and my track is going on. It's like, yeah, I've seen it. Okay, thank you very much. How does it add into the bigger picture? I'm going to keep moving and not stress about fixating on one particular topic of the whole tapestry. Yeah, the system does false flags, hoaxes, complete and utter staged propaganda events. They do. This is provable evidentially from history. Get over it, notice it when it happens, and keep moving. Yeah, that's my point in being independent.
How is linking it into
camera?
That's what I was meaning, like sort of like the truth cult. And being independent. I mean, it's hard to be independent in the truth cult, and if you're rocking around with supposedly like-minded individuals and you bring up a different point of view, you're completely ostracized as a shell because you don't believe in X, Y, or Z. You don't believe in the hoax. You don't believe. You're out of the cult. So there's a lot of people out there with cult-minded thinking who thinks that they're open-minded and stuff, when all they do is want to close down different points of view. If it is about true independence, you've got to be able to fucking have a forum where people can bring different points of view and discuss it, and not feel that they're out the gang, they're not cool. Because a lot of people are apprehensive about bringing, like, say for instance, you do a hangout about a particular subject and they have an opposing point of view. They're apprehensive about coming into that hangout and bringing up that point of view because the vast majority and people when they hang out tend to be in the cult and will jump on the bandwagon and go, oh, you don't agree with our point of view and stuff. Like, hey, I'm only bringing a different point of view. I thought this was meant to be a free and open discussion, and everybody fucking talks about freedom of speech, freedom of thought, critical thinking, but very few fucking practice it, and it's hard to practice it. And I'm talking through experience.
Do you know why, mate? It's because in a pragmatic, experiential way, you learn from the process. If you allow that to be totally the way you're describing, you know, absolutely complete free speech, and you will expend the time required to listen to any argument. The problem is the system knows full well that if you fall for that, then they'll just put shit in front of you to keep you occupied forever, for 24/7, looking at the most ridiculous bunkum. Yeah, let's talk about again the way this particular medium is used to sow sensationalist disinfo out there to give people something to argue about.
I've got confidence in the vast majority of people, and I hear what you're saying there, mate, and they will try and bamboozle us with bullshit. But a very good example, right? Look at the way that we've recently spoke about this flat earth thing, right? We spoke about it, addressed it, not hid from it, not bought into the bullshit, fucking... And ultimately, what have we done? We've put it in the trash can and walked away and like that. If you want to believe that, fucking jog on. Nobody's been ostracised. I'm pretty sure there's actually still a few people float about that believe in that stuff and all that. And that's why, like, with an open forum and stuff, you are going to get bojos, you are going to get fucking government ops and all that try to come in and fuck it up. But ultimately, man, they'll blow themselves out because the people can see that shit. It's like the chat room and stuff. If people come in the chat room and try and hijack it, block them, make me monitor, I'll regulate this, I'll kick them. Nah, just let them blow themselves out, man. Let them talk their pish and make fools of themselves, because I have confidence in people, the vast majority of people knowing what way is up. Anyway, Mr. Grimm, how you doing? I wish you've joined us.
Hey. Yeah, I was listening to the show. I was really enjoying this topic a lot. So relates to me personally at this time too, probably, you know, why. But yeah, I think that Harry made some very good points as well on that. And, you know, they do bundle up the, you know, all of the ideas they can think you probably have if you have like one idea that correlates to something they recognize in someone else who has a bunch of other ideas that you don't even relate to. You know what I'm saying? Like if everything that you already said, basically, I'm in total agreement. There's nothing more I can really add to it except great job, guys. You know.
Well, Mr. Grimm, you've got definitely a good perspective to add to the argument, mate. You're in the US, the good US of A and stuff, so you have it very fresh in your head about that bit of paper with those particular writings on it, the Declaration of Independence. So, yeah. What do you think about more of us guys standing up and just going, not in our name, fuck yous? And and again, we can overcomplicate. We can get into the complicated arguments after we get people to the singularity of agreement that this system isn't serving us. Full stop.
No, yeah, I'm totally with you. I could go on for days, you know that, about the 1776 hoax and all that fun stuff. But a lot of people who are aware, I hope they're listening today, you know, about all that. Because people are jumping up and going, oh, we're going to have 1776 all over again. And those are the same people that are rubbing the fact that it's a hoax in your face if you don't realize it's a hoax. So they're kind of like ramping, you know, up armies of people who want to do good, but they're just leading them into the corralled zones of really not doing good at all.
Revolution.
And controlled opposition, and that's where we're at. I mean, like you were saying, there's something to this when every side you choose is already controlled. That must mean the narrative itself is already controlled. So everything that ever gets presented out into the air is okay, because that's okay for you. They're hoping you won't figure it out. There's never anybody like that tells the whole complete story. To me, I must have a whole complete different story than most. But I don't ever get surprised when I see a news article and it's you know, Russia telling the U.S. like their two propaganda machines are going at it and blah blah blah. I never get confused or surprised because I always look at it as if, yeah, well, they're already on the same team, just fooling us into thinking that they're doing all of those things so that we react in the specific ways that they require us to react in order to more easily control us through proxy. And the fact that they no longer want to do this all through proxy because there's so many of us now. Doing it through proxy is going to be a big
That's what's going to
subconsciously beating us into wanting to be controlled by like UN and centralized shit, because you know the US needs a babysitter now, right? Everybody's rationale is kind of getting that, so they're doing that on purpose. That's why you're seeing all the hoaxes. The hoaxes are there for you to see. Nobody's special going, oh look, I caught him. See that? I caught that hoax. No. They were like, damn, you didn't catch this hoax soon enough. They wanted this before this. You know, they're hoping you were going to catch these hoaxes a long time ago. Yeah. You don't just sell all the houses in Sandy Hook for $1 to all the participants and shit like that. I mean, that's supposed to be on purpose that you saw that, guys.
The thing about the hoaxes and the taking guns, gun control, it's like a giant game of poker. All the hoaxes are designed to affect public opinion, because when they come out and say, we're going to take the guns, they don't want a revolution. And so it's a game of poker. They're putting hoaxes out there and trying to measure public opinion, what will actually happen when the hammer comes down. That's what it's all about. But they're in a position now where they've got so many think tanks trying to anticipate what the truther movement are thinking, what the public opinion are thinking, and will enough public wake up? And so they get a think tank to think about that, and a think tank to think about what they thought about before. Yeah. And that's why it's going crazy. Their think tanks are coming out with all these suggestions, and
yeah, no, those think tanks are. I don't want to. I'm not. You have great ideas, man. You always have. I'm not like that. I'm trying to show more respect, because I know I have respect, but I don't show it as much. And sometimes people, kind of get affected by that in ways that I'm responsible for ultimately. So let me fix that real quick. I wanted to add or build to what you were saying. The think tanks, like you're saying, they already thought of all this stuff. This is a revolutionary circular cycle of, they call it the pharaonic death cycle. It's real. They just want to keep everything at a low enough rate. It used to be that they would wipe us all out in wars and completely ravage all this kind of stuff. Now they're using, soft kill methods, chemical bombardments and chemical lobotomies and stuff like that in order to maintain more control. And this is all becoming effective in ways that, it's showing. Like, I wanted to make a point that I think we need to unseparate the idea that the truth community is going to be different from the regular community. That way, we don't have these wars and fights between regular people and truth people and all this kind of shit. I don't believe that there's labels like that that are necessary, because I'm just a regular guy that, finds out stuff. I'm not a truth community guy. I'm not a participant in any groups, or I'm not affiliated with any single people or any kind of shit like that. I'm me, and I'm the truth, what I can find, and hopefully it's the best, I can do. And that's all I do. So I think that we have more problems with that, conveying our message to people who can't relate to us because they feel a label is necessary, Yeah. So we can unlabel ourselves immediately. I think that's a good idea to start.
I do agree with you absolutely, mate. I personally would not unlabel myself. Like, I try and explain what I mean. I totally agree with you, and this is what I was talking about earlier with Kip when I was saying there is that reverse psychological effect here. They're baiting you to put yourself in a box, yeah, because by getting you to accept that there is some kind of truth movement in their definition, in other words, there's some kind of club or group that you have to join, and only when you've achieved a certain level of knowledge or some other reason why you have a ticket will they let you in. It creates that division. It creates two camps. The truth community is not separate from the entirety of the rest of your society. It's not. You're just a group of people who happen to be interested in those kind of topics. You're looking for the truth, whatever particular topic you're looking into, yeah?
Exactly. And
that's why, for me, I'd still say I'm part of the truth community, but to me, the word community does not create that separation. And also, I'd say I'm part of a truth movement. Sorry.
You right, man?
I take the toke and you get the choke. What's up with that?
And it's not even been hitting his bum.
Talking too much, man. No, but I'm still part of a truth movement, because as I've tried to explain to others many times, and Gary mentioned it as well, define what you mean by movement. If you're looking for the truth, that means you're attempting to move towards the truth. You're moving. It's movement. Thought is a process of movement, yeah? Every time you have a thought, it's charges of electricity moving around in your brain. Your consciousness is the very epitome of constant movement, yeah? It's a Mobius loop of continuous movement. So in that respect, if you're moving towards the truth, then you are part of a truth movement. You can be as independent as you want. The more independent you are, the better. Thank you for being that way, yeah? But you're still, as far as I'm concerned, part of a truth movement, because that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. Well, you know, I totally agree with you as well. But it's hard to make that to convey the point that I was trying to convey to the average person if I still hold on to the, you know, that if I still mention that part, you know what I mean? I mean, inside I already know that I'm part of that, but I'm still, they don't see that way.
One of the ultimate sticking points or problems that we have as a community, using the derisory air quotes, you know? And the system plays on this. The reason they keep putting out this kind of narrative that there's some kind of club or group that you have to join, and it's like a cult. You've got to be a member of it. If you look at that kind of topic, you must be in this cult. Guilt by association stacks up, etc.
Yeah, guys, I've just had the Illuminati on the phone to me. We're getting too close to the truth, so I'm going to end the broadcast for today, man. But just before you like that, Mr. Grimm, the Illuminati. So just before we tell you the meaning of life, just one last word. I'll say my bullshit at the end, man, about this wee thing. So, Cookie, you're going to do a wee blurb for me, man. I'm going to edit it down and stuff. But you're going to do your own Declaration of Independence.
Yes, I will, mate. Yeah.
Brilliant. Anything you want to say about independence before we shoot off, Cookie?
I independently don't want to say anything.
I independently cannot or will not verify this.
Yeah.
Gary, what about yourself, mate? Anything you want to say before we head off about the independent? You okay, mate? No worries, man. Oh, with us, Gary?
No, it's St John's Day. We've had bangers up until 6 o'clock in the night. Yeah, just non-stop, bang, 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 all fucking till 6 in the morning. It's
that obviously over in Barcelona, you're still on, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, it's crazy, crazy, and everything's shut today. It's a bank holiday for St John. But that's St Irons. I was trying to look it up in Hislop's Two Babylons. It's not even St John. It was somebody else who lost his head. I think Tammuz or Nimrod.
Those were the days when the scumbags lost their fucking heads, man. We can only
be heading again.
Those were hoaxes. Those were hoaxes.
So just before we shoot off, I'll go to you in a wee sec, Mr. Grimm. Gimmick for life. How you doing, mate? Thanks for joining again, man. I don't know if you've got anything to say on the independence thing, the Declaration of Independence.
Well, basically, I want us to have basically.
Mate, we're having microphone trouble.
Really quiet.
Yeah. Sorry, as I said, we need something that we need as one, right? What we all believe in, and we will take that step forward and put it into action, you know? Root out all the crap that we don't want. You know, like go over it like a fine-tooth comb, you know?
Definitely, mate. No.
It's like you know, like anything, like from our monies, absolutely everywhere in between, where we can get back all the control that we need, right? So it's out of their hands, back into our hands, and then they are powerless. Then we got that control back. But it's how we're gonna jump those bridges to get there.
Well, we can, but
if we have those certain people that's in place, that they can go, right, we're going to help you now. Bang, that's it, and then
the police,
that'd be an ideal scenario for me.
Because with the UN and the big world takeover, things like local police, county police, even state police in America
Yeah.
and in England as well, they're all going to be privatised. They're all going to be phased out.
They're all privatized. Like, we've all heard that they're all having their pensions, all that stuff,
Yeah.
And they don't see the apples falling from the trees, That's what gets me,
Can't
But
feel
I will
what-
not get out of bed and see working the old mentality. Nah. I saw in 2000 when I did this work trial at Plus where I fucking hated it. I remember I come up from the States after a horror convention back in 2003. Next day, my mate Gary's in work. We all went together in 2003. He's in work, happy days. And they call me up, and I'm in bed jet lagged, And that day was horrible and hard. I was like half with it. I must have got bed at like 8 o'clock at night? That's rare. And I was treated like crap down there. It was from first week in November, or probably second week in November, till when everyone breaks up at Christmas time, December 24th, 23rd, or something like that. There, I said I'm never going back, and it that's when I opened my eyes up.
Well, we'll chat about this when we go off here, mate. But
No worries, it's fine.
Are you going to do your own wee Declaration of Independence and we'll do a wee montage? Are you going to do one, or are you up for it? Or?
Of course I am. I mean, I've had enough of what this country's done to everybody, and it's time to really make a stand. Once I've got the garden know-how to have that mold to not follow the lead until I got enough on my head and whichever to take not take the lead, but take my share of what you want me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll put it in the
take back what's rightfully ours, man. Storm the
Because it's like if I did it, off and about whichever say, I'm up to my neck in something I can't, clear in time. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, Gimmick Man, thanks again for joining us, man.
Sorry, I'm late. How long was this on for anyway?
I think I started about 4. Fuck knows, mate, but just after 4 or something.
I've been able to convert backing up some DVDs and odds and ends.
No worries, mate. We've all got our chores to do, man. And just
chores. I mean, the housework. It's like housework, mini tapes here. It's just crazy.
Tell me about it, man. So, Mr. Grimm, thanks for joining us always, mate. What about yourself, man? Any last words about the old independence stuff?
Oh,
if we were to make our own national anthem, who'd want to write the lyrics?
No Gallagher.
Yes.
No Gallagher or John Lennon, if we can. We'll get some John
Lennon.
We'll get some John Lennon's DNA. Give that to Steven Spielberg, and he'll create a Jurassic Lennon for us.
Definitely. God save the Queen. No. She's done a children's war to serve bastards and whores.
Well, Mr. Grimm, over there on the any last words about the old?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would actually like to collaborate with Harry on his, because I have a couple of amendments that might be good, to throw around as well. And one of them would be to eliminate all the laws off the books that deal with victimless crimes. All the laws, no victimless crimes. Boom.
Got
because he's a smart guy, and I'm not smart enough to take on the responsibility of making up a great, comfortable system for everyone.
Everyone in different ways.
Yeah, if we're all involved.
We can all bring something to the table, and we can learn something from each other, Like me, if you, for instance, you wanted to know how to put VHS to DVD, I can do that there. Anything we are capable of, we can teach each other, whatever, We've all got something to bring to the table.
That's awesome. That's what I'm hoping for, People
like
living
to win. Here. That's why my tag says live to win.
Yeah, live to be happy. Like
anyone else can tell you. I'm your best friend, your greatest obstacle.
I'm going to wrap up the live. Mr. Grimm, any parting words, mate, just before we wrap up, man? I'm going to say hi to the chat. Any parting words, buddy?
Oh, the chat's awesome. Yeah, they usually do a good job out there keeping the show going, staying busy. They throw good comments around, keep the ideas flowing and stuff.
I will never stay unplugged.
So
Thanks, man. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here all the time, man, because, you get a lot done. You help out a lot.
Yeah, listen, man, it's either that or play with my willy, mate. It's a hard choice, not me.
It's a good addiction, man.
I think
they're both good addictions. I'm just saying,
Oh no, thanks, mate. Listen, I'm bad at taking compliments, man, but it's not to say I don't love them.
Oh, I'm the same. Okay, don't sweat it.
I don't know, man. I don't know how to take your fucking things. But thanks to everybody that's getting involved in the chat, man. Everybody, it's always going to remain an open forum, man. It's never going to get censored and shit.
I know compliments are hard. I mean, I feel that, you deserve more than I would do, you know what I mean? If I'm doing something else, vice versa, it's like, if I can't compliment someone with my word, I'll give them that huge friendly hug, They go, oh, it's getting that, and there, yeah. It's one of those things that, it's peaceful,
Exactly, mate.
None of this, I don't care whatever, you be gay, bi, lesbian, I couldn't give a fucking, we're human, we're on the same freaking page here, reading the same book, marching to the same beat, the same lyrics, the same drum, the same feeling, yeah? We're on the same wavelength.
Exactly, mate. So, I'm just going to wrap this up. So, Bill McFarlane, thanks, mate. Lucas, Truth Seeker, I know everybody's been arguing in the chat and all that amongst themselves, man. And it's there, man. Just don't abuse it, man. Like, fucking hell, man. It's there for everybody to say whatever they want and stuff, man. But I don't want to get caught in the fucking middle of fucking people bitching and moaning at each other. But hey, say what you want and stuff, man. Clips, Joffrey, that's what you're looking for.
Classic.
Binary Ghost, the fat, ugly, liquid, blunt bitch. Love your name, Bill McFarlane. So thanks to everybody that's got involved in the chat as well. And also, hold on, I want to fucking say this and wrapping up. Write your own Declaration of Independence. Write your own Declaration of Independence, man. Stick it up on the YouTubes or contact me. I'll get an email to you, send it to me, and I'll put a big fucking collage of them together. And write your own. Say whatever you want in it. Tell everybody. Tell the government what you want. What independence means to you. Don't let anybody else define it for you. Nobody's here to tell you what should be there. We're only to agree on what shouldn't be there, and what shouldn't be there is this current system. It doesn't serve us, it only serves them. So write your own Declaration of Independence, man. Get involved, man.
The government should be working first, not the other way around.
I mean, it's thinking outside the box. I mean, the protesting don't work, voting don't work. What else will we get left? Fucking thinking outside the box.
Take away the powers that they've got. How do we do it?
Get your own box. Every election, get your own box. Go down there, hold your own election.
How do we take away the powers that we have and give it back to the public?
Exactly, man. This is the only way. So, Cookie, pleasure, mate. Gary, thanks for joining us. Mr. Grimm, thanks for joining us. You've disappeared, mate. I wanted to chat to you offline as well, but no such luck this time. But thanks everybody in the chat as well. And drop us a message after the fact. And please get involved. I'm going to put an event page together where everybody that wants to do this can hook up on and don't know, man, just speak out, man, vent. I don't know. Catchies.